Hi, this is Jeannie with Creative Ectothermic Solutions. You can look us up online at CEctoS.com or bugblog.org. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel or look us up on Facebook at facebook.com/CEctoS. Today we are here to talk about Arizona blonde tarantulas. Look at this beautiful, beautiful young lady. This is an Arizona blonde or an Aphelophelma chalcodes. We're going to talk a little bit about her care. She is from North America. She is a New World spider from North America. She does have irritating hairs back here, but in my experience, Arizona blondes don't really use them that much. She's a terrestrial spider. They will burrow. They come from the desert, especially the scrublands. So she comes from some place that's hot and dry, but that doesn't mean you need to keep her hot and dry, because where she's most comfortable is if it's hot and dry, she's going to be burrowed deep into the earth where it's cool and moist. If it's 110 degrees outside and with 0% humidity, you will find her in the earth where it is 70 degrees and 50% humidity. So if you keep your Arizona blonde too dry, she will burrow and you will never see her again. The males of this species can live for 5 to 10 years, and they are sexually dimorphic and on their last molt. When they mature, the males they'll still have this golden carapace and this brown abdomen, but they will have black legs, and they'll be really, really leggy, and they'll have hooks here, and their little pedipalps will look like little boxing gloves. The females look like this for their whole lives, and they don't really get much bigger than this, and this spider is about, 4.5 to 5 inches, but they get thicker. They get a lot heavier. They're very slow growing. The females can live up to 30 years. They're a perfect first tarantula because they're very docile. They're slow moving, they're slow growing, they're a very easygoing tarantula. They don't need any supplementary light because they're nocturnal. They don't need any supplementary heat. If you're comfortable, your spider will be comfortable. If you choose to put a heat pad on the habitat that you put your spider in, you need to put it on the side, not on the bottom, because if you put it on the bottom, it's going to heat up the entire bottom and your tarantula will not be able to get away from the heat. But if you put it on the side, the tarantula will be able to choose whether to be next to the heat or away from the heat, which is much better for them. They live in the Sonoran and the Chihuahua deserts in the scrubland. They live in Arizona, New Mexico, northern Mexico, southern California, and southern Nevada. There have even been sightings, not confirmed sightings, but people reported seeing Arizona blondes as far away as Kansas. As you can see, this is a very delightful and beautiful spider. She's docile. This is a little wild-caught spider, so she is very, very cute, very docile, and easy to get along with. If you are going to handle your spider, I always suggest you handle her over a table or you sit on the ground, because when these spiders fall down, they don't survive. Their abdomens burst, and it's just a terrible tragedy. They bleed to death very quickly. But if you're over a table and she decides to run off, which the chances aren't really, really high because they don't tend to move quickly, or if you freak out and pull your hands out from underneath her, which is way more likely, especially for if she's a first-time tarantula for anybody, hopefully she won't fall very far and she'll be okay. I give these guys a hide when I build their habitat. I give them a very small water bowl, and I make sure that the substrate is moist, because I don't want my tarantula to burrow and never come back out again. I want her to be comfortable, and I want her to be moving around on the surface. I feed them about 3 crickets a week. Some of them, they'll eat more or less crickets, but and people feed them roaches, and they feed them those mealworms and even tomato hornworms. But I don't suggest feeding mealworms. Mealworms can live in the dirt for a long time before they come up, and your Arizona blonde is a slow-moving, slow-growing tarantula, which means that, so if she decides to molt and there are beetles or mealworms in the ground, it means that they could attack her and kill her, which would truly be a tragedy. So we're going to set up a tank for her so that she can go into a bigger tank. I have a 10-gallon tank. This is the tank I have set up for her. I have cocoa fiber and a little bit of sand in the bottom. The sand lets the cocoa fiber compact better so that if she does want to burrow, she can. So this is cocoa fiber, a little bit of peat moss, and some sand. I'm going to add a little bit more sand in here because it looks nice. I'm not going to add a lot, just a little. And do a little bit of sand art so that, you know, we can make it look more like the Chihuahua or the Sonoran Desert. And then I'm going to add some detritus. This is the detritus that I feed to my beetles and stuff. If you look at this stuff, this cocoa husk and dried leaves and stuff, an Arizona blonde would easily hide in here. Sure, her coloring would go very well. So that just gives her a place to hide. We're going to give her some sphagnum moss to drink out of, which we're going to put over here, and we're going to hedge our bets. We're going to give her a little tiny water bowl. These water dishes are what people use for giving their crested geckos Pangea or water. And I use them for spiders. I like them because the sides are very smooth. I don't like bottle caps because they have these little tabs that tear at your spider. And mostly I've noticed that the time when spiders are very thirsty is when they're newly molted, which means that it could actually tear at her. I also have a coconut hide. All it is a coconut that I've cut in half on my bandsaw. I've cleaned out and made detritus for the beetles and the roaches to eat from the inside, and then I've made a hole. So now I have a habitat for my spider. Here is a bird's eye view of my spider habitat. You can see our detritus over here. Here's our coconut hide right here. A little bit of sphagnum moss and a cup of water. Now we're going to add the most important and most exciting part of our little habitat build. We're going to add our spider. So here she is, right here. And I'm going to let her be in here to look around and see what there is to see. She's gonna look around. They can climb glass, but they don't do it especially well. It's amazing. They have little tiny hooks in there on the end of their feet, like retractable claws for cats. They have two little tiny retractable claws, and it's amazing to me what they can climb. You can see why she would hang out on something like detritus, because she blends in very well, and as an opportunistic hunter, this would be one of the perfect places for her to hide. You can see she knows she's blended. She knows that you can't really see her. This is an Arizona blonde tarantula, rehoused by Creative Ectothermic Solutions. That's CEctoS.com and bugblog.org. If you like our videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and look us up on Facebook. We are CEctoS also on Facebook. Thank you for your time, and you have a wonderful day.